Hello and welcome back to the PLP. We have entered officially the final week. This time next week we will know who has made the playoffs, who's got automatic promotion, and we'll already know a little bit about how the NLP playoff situation is evolving. Today we've pretty much got a full complement of League 1 and League 2 games, and it's been a bit of a tricky decision as to who we're going to cover in the live games. There's a lot riding on it for a lot of different teams. A lot that sort of one loss away from being put out of their particular hopes. You look at the likes of Bustin Village, as the Rovers, myself really, and then in League 1, two massive games for both Foyverton and Thomarse as they try and secure that second automatic spot behind. And I forgot to really focus on this the other day because both of them drew at the weekend and actually secured Ellister City as the League 1 champions, not just promoted but the champions. Officially the number one team in PLP land, so congratulations to Matty. And I'll try and fill you in on other things as we go along. It's all a lot of moving parts, as you can imagine. And actually, building on that, we're going to start straight there, and a massive opportunity for Thomarse. You'd think maybe their last opportunity potentially. He could only draw at the weekend, thought it was game over, and then Foyverton got a home draw, which nobody saw coming, and actually would have given Thomas back his second spot. I say this might be his last chance because he's got a home game today, and Foyverton's got a trickier away trip. But then at the weekend, his final game, Jamie's at home to Blackpool, bottom of the table Blackpool. So surely that's a guaranteed 3 points. So if he is going to claw back that point difference and overtake him, you'd think it has to be today. It's not guaranteed because we've had some very random results in recent weeks especially, including that draw for Foyverton at the weekend. So definitely nothing secured no matter what happens today, unless Thomas loses this game and Jamie wins. That's the only way something could be settled today. Jamie would get promoted. And it would cement top two from last year being the exact same this year, just the other way around. It was Jamie that got top spot in League 2 with Matty just behind. Matty turning the tables on that already. As you'd expect, there's an absolute barrage of games coming up this week. And what on earth is happening here? Ronald Zubar, a massive Foyverton fan, you'd imagine. Fantastic header at the near post. Limbs from Jamie Foyster. So yeah, that Wednesday we got League 2, MATTch doing exactly what Zubar had done the other end. Sorry, no, Thursday's League 2. Before that, Wednesday, actually, the NLP playoffs get underway. Both Thomas Gourlay and Thomas Neckbrews, all Liverpool and Luton, with their home fixtures, courtesy of the fact they finished 4th and 5th. No two-legged deal at this stage. They just get that home draw advantage. And hopefully will secure their places up against the two Craigs in the playoff semi-finals, which come on Sunday. Before that, there's actually a mini break on Friday, and then obviously the end of League 1 on Saturday. It was supposed to be the end of League 2 on Saturday as well, but what is happening here? Yeah, because of the League 2 schedule, there are actually 3 games coming up next Monday to actually finish things off. And as things stand, I would be looking to highlight both Jamie and Thomas's games on Saturday, but if it stays like this, I might not need to. He is going to need a big 45. keep those automatic promotion hopes alive. I suppose the other issue with not finishing second is that you're going to bump into Levi, who's not really been talked about because he fell out of the automatic race a while ago, but he's carrying some pretty immense form into those playoffs. Just gone about his business and actually closed the gap to within 5 points of these two now. Came through the League 2 playoffs last year, already won the Carabao Cup in recent weeks. Sorry, the EFL trophy. And it might be Thomas that has to face him. Fofana! Is he on? He is. Again, it's a set piece, but he'll take anything. I'm not sure what the Wolves defenders were doing, leaving about 4 or 5 unmarked. He needs another. I'm not entirely sure on the goal difference situation. So if Jamie won, he'd go 3 points ahead. So it would depend on that goal difference. That's what Thomas might have to be relying on. Or not. Surely not. We're in the way past the end. Lukaku! Oh, what a story. Not played all season, and all of a sudden that transfer last year with Jazz has paid off in one header a minute after the game should have been over to keep automatic hopes alive. What a moment. I need Thomas to film his reaction to that. Wow. And suddenly, the pressure shifts. We'll have a look at that league table in a sec, because it's important. Alex Neil's Wigan B. Against a pretty much full strength Foyverton. No point rotating now, even if you're Ranieri. So he actually is Jamie with the superior goal difference as well. That goal from Lukaku may have just saved him. As things stand going into this game, Thomas is 2 points ahead of Jamie. He's got the tougher game at the weekend. While Foyster's at home to Blackpool, Thomas is away at Coventry B. Not an easy one. Ronaldo, surely. Now officially got 2 Thomases as Wigan fans for the next few minutes. I'm not sure it's going to do too much good, sorry. Tevez taking Jamie one step closer. Can he just see off Blackpool at home on Saturday? You'd think it was a formality. Not entirely sure why Ranieri's playing Sterling through the middle with Ronaldo out on the left. But this is a guy on the cusp of 2 consecutive promotions, so what do I know? And he's actually shifted things around now anyway. And that's a pen, and that should be 3 points. He's not going to miss from here, is he? Oh, the power I hold is just immense. Do quite enjoy that Wigan B team, looking through it. Runa Kone, Sean Maloney, Lee McCulloch, Jimmy Bullard, Denny Lanzat, Alcaraz, Ronnie Stam. It's very enjoyable. Also completely powerless against the likes of Tevez and Ronaldo and Rodri. It's an own goal from aforementioned Alcaraz. Bless him. Wigan absolutely determined not to let Ronaldo score a second. Would actually rather kick it in their own goal than let that happen. You've got to admire it. Petering out slightly, but it doesn't matter. Jamie, nothing really has changed despite the drama in that previous game, as we were. And it does mean, as the Wigan B players say thank you to their crowd, to their fans, it means that Jamie just needs a win at home to bottom club Blackpool at the weekend to join Matty in the Championship and to force Thomarse into the playoffs alongside FullofStrangeham. Quickly turning attentions immediately to League Two, Harry Pally and Jazz of the Rovers, and with all due respect to Mr. Palmer, the story here is the away side, and we'll see by the league table in a sec. Harry did a bit of ruining at the weekend, beating Louis, who's chasing MATTch. And if he does the same today, that will be Jamie out of that promotion hunt. 10th at the moment, you need to finish in the top 7, which he's only 3 points away from, with not bad goal difference. Not perfect, but workable. A loss today would be the end. Even a draw, I think. Probably not enough considering how many other contenders there are. The likes of Danielsea, Bustin Villa, the Mattpies, and potentially a couple that could drop down in the form of the Red Whall and even maybe Warringham, as unlikely as that one would be. Then, as I'll come to in a bit, there's also the hunt for automatic promotion, which kind of blends in with that playoff push. Warringham in both camps. Oh, what a free kick that is from Latisse. Bizarrely, I was looking through the leading goal scorers chart today, and Jermaine Defoe snuck onto that list. He scored 12 in his last 18, and so, with FM logic, he's been dropped today for Di Canio, which is lovely to see, but probably a bit harsh. Still very much enjoy this team, largely because of players like JJ Okocha, who's deciding he wants to keep Blackburn in this division next season. I say Blackburn, Freudian slip, Jazz of the Rovers, of course. Colin Hendry, continuous thorn in Jamie Scales' side, seeing him oust the likes of Laporte or Vidic. Losing his man there as well. Much like his arch nemesis Thomas Keeble, he's got 45 minutes to save his season. Bad start. And Harry wondering where the fuck was this a few months ago. Lovely 4-2-3-1, playing some nice football. Xabi Alonso pulling the strings, Zaha looking dangerous for the last 2 or 3 games. Defoe firing, and this is without Fernando Torres in the team, and Okocha getting in on the act as well. This is without Steven Gerrard. As soon as Gerrard comes back, he just goes back to that back 3 with Stevie at right wing back. Actually looks a lot more balanced like this. Interesting to see how much he gets involved in the draft in the summer. Henri, oh, off the post. The #1 draft pick. Not putting out the heroics on this occasion. Is that Andy Johnson? The lesser seen Andy Johnson has just popped up. Let's check out for the big shiny bald head up top, if that is him. It is! That's a lifeline. An unfamiliar source, but I'll take anyone scoring at this time. Half an hour, 2 goals needed. Bless him, pyjama man. Nudging it straight into the path of Olivier. Gravison as well, the baldies coming on. 2 baldies and an afro in the past 20 minutes. Juninho! Surely not again. The 2 most invested players in this whole project, arguably, along with a few others. 2 of them put through the ringer on this most important of days this season. Now Vidic comes on to make the difference with 6 minutes left. Can he get that winner? Is it all in vain? Any late heroics this time? Doesn't look like it. Harry Pally says sorry to the fans. And Jazz, in reality now, out of that playoff hunt. I say that, I might be wrong. It depends. I mean, if everyone else loses as well, then nothing much has changed, but it's the goal difference that's the problem. And let's take a look at the league table again for Cheshire's situation. We know Lawrence is. He's up. He's champion. Cheshampton currently sitting in 4th, 2 points behind the team he's chasing for that 3rd automatic spot, Louis. But Louis got that game in hand, so all Chesh can do is win his last 2 games. Obviously easier said than done when you're facing the best team in the league. Poor Solomon Clue, scored twice in his last 2 games, immediately dropped. Jurgen Klinsmann back into the team, really going out wide. Oh, what a hit. Only 13 goals from Rooney. Probably should be chipping in with a few more. Of course, at this point, Boss doesn't really give a shit. He is lying on a sunbed, fleece on, margarita in hand, or John Smith more appropriately. Plotting a very quiet summer, I'd have thought as well. I don't think he's really in the mood or in the need to draft dramatically, if at all. Take the Matty Ellis approach. Less is more. So far so good. Bit of rotation from White Hart Chamberlain in the last couple of games since that promotion was secured. It's good to see the likes of Michael Dawson and Didier Sikora and Nabil Ben Celeb. They definitely were not playing earlier in the season. talking the other day about whether it's Isak or Canute up front. He's sacked them both off today. Gone for that false 9. Lawrence tempted the PLP group the other day, saying that after Isak's pathetic Panenka attempt, which cost him a place in the FA Cup final the other day, that he wouldn't be in a Spurs shirt next season. I imagine there would be some suitors out there for a occasionally prolific rat. That's speaking of insufferable people, very important goal for Chesh to keep that pressure on Louis. Mr. Williams coming up next with a tricky away trip to Connorwich. Oh no, that's coming up in the scores later. I've lost track of which ones I'm actually highlighting today. It's the Red Whall against Arsened coming up next, but the score from Connorwich and the Sky Lews will be later, because we're then seeing Louis on Thursday at home to Danielsea in a really big game. Bit of a do or die for both of them at that point, especially if Louis does struggle to get over the line against Connor today. But Cheshire's done all he can do. He has comfortably dispatched the League 2 champions. Again, I don't think Lawrence cares. To be honest, I'm not sure if Chesh does at this point. I don't think he's forgiven his team for that little slump they had. It's going to be a nice surprise for him in the summer when he realises he's been promoted. So yeah, finally, the Red Wall, the significant team here. No offence to Arsened. Mr. Nadir himself. But for Tom, as you can see, a loss today does put him in a bit of jeopardy. He's caught up in terms of appearances now, and it's not really looking any better than when he had games in hand. Had a few tricky results over the last week or two, and a loss here would put him in danger. Me and Paul were talking the other day, saying it's a shame that it had to be either one of us to maybe sneak into the playoffs, but if Tom keeps free falling, then it could be both. When we come to looking at the league tables after all is said and done today, I'll try and summarise where we're at better than I'm probably doing in real time. That summary looking less and less positive for Tom until the flag went up. Good to see Reyes back in the team. Not sure why he doesn't play more. Still don't think Vieira's quite decided who his main striker is going to be. And actually the same could be said for Ten Hag on the other side. He's had Berbatov in the team recently. He's gone back with Solskjaer today. It's also been York, Johnson and McClare on occasions. And actually Vieira seems to have changed his mind at half-time here too. Ian Wright getting a rare game. Always a pleasure to see Wrighty. So bizarre, for about 2 or 3 months, Arsened were just playing the best football of anyone and getting results. They were in the top 2 until about October, November time. And it's not like the wheels ever came off, they just couldn't string wins together anymore. And not for the first time in recent weeks. McClare coming up trumps. Didn't play in the first season. Didn't really play for most of the second season. He's only been brought into the team in recent weeks. And that's why Lehmann should do better. This would be obviously a brilliant result for Tom. Not so good for me, Paul, Dan Gregory. That's probably it now in that playoff hunt. And Mainu seemingly securing those 3 points. Invaluable. He's popped up with a couple of goals recently as well. Leclerc, goal assist. What's he doing? Kivior turning into Maradona briefly. And Dasassi, of all people, getting his first goal for the Red Whall since arriving last summer. Actually turning a very tricky game into a walk in the park. With all the games left to play over the course of this week, I think this 3 points should be enough. He's already got the Carabao Cup on his mantelpiece, and he's going to be trying to get to Wembley again in the next month or so, despite Mertesacker's late consolation. Steve Bruce, I wonder if he's been forgiven for smashing a left-footed beauty into his own goal from about 20 yards the other day. It was the funniest goal of the season, without doubt. Lacazette, I saw the other day, the only player not to have made an appearance for Arsened, has now got about 10 seconds under his belt. Right, now, lots of other important scores to dissect, and we'll go up to League One first. And a bit like White Hart Chamberlain, Ellister doesn't have to care about this result at all. Must be the first time he hasn't scored all season. A much changed side, I don't even know who half those substitutes are. No Foden, no Cantona. No problem really. Stohor and De Cordova-Reid for Cardiff. And Levi, there's me waxing lyrical about the form he's carrying into the playoffs, and suddenly loses to a Rudiger Stead goal for a Liverpool team. He's been on his travels, clearly. Again, doesn't really matter at this point, other than wanting to carry some momentum in. Speaking of momentum, I saw that Dan City Y are 10 games unbeaten at the moment. So despite being, on paper, the worst of the pyramid teams at the moment in League 2, actually one of the most dangerous. Huge win for me, thank God for that. I had to see off the non-draft opposition. I had a 3 in a row and I've got 9 points from it. Who'd have thought? You bring Michael Owen on before this. Still didn't get a start, but you bring him on before the 70th minute. And he scores 2 in the space of 40 minutes. Barnsley rooted to the bottom of the table. Nice away win for Zig against a tricky customer in Brighton B. Took a couple of late goals from myself the other day to see them off. Hernan Crespo, first half penalty, just enough as Zig's season peters out. And this is a not so favourable result for Louis. No Aguero and no 3 points. Decent draw away from home, to be fair, but that Ruben Neves red card hasn't helped matters. Considering Chesh's win, it's going to be very tight for that third spot. Warringham, huge result for him, and he's in a similar boat to the Red Whall in that win at least confirms playoff action. And still, I'm sure we'll come to the league table in a bit. Keeps him in the loop for automatic, I'd have thought. Injuries to John Barnes, Jared Bowen, Calvin Phillips, and a red card for Kovacic, which did the damage for Dan City Cal. I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem for the FA Cup. No, it looks like it was a second yellow. Got his FA Cup final coming up. Danielsea doing exactly what Cheshampton did, and that's beating an already promoted side, a team that have checked out, and rightly so. But Danielsea joining myself, the Red Whall, and Warringham in some very timely wins. Eyes will turn to Bustin Villa in a sec to see if they can make it an even bigger Royal Rumble for the rest of the week. Poor Craig, he's not had a good few days, bless him. His playoff hopes ended a couple of days ago, and even starting Chris Kwamya wasn't enough to inject a bit of enthusiasm into this game. Leeds UniTodd, who've ended the season very well, to be fair. I think it's too little too late for them, but another good win. Dan City Wigan now are 11 games unbeaten. Ruud Gullit and a late Andrei Shevchenko winner. Still carrying some very good form into his Europa League campaign. His first leg of his semi-final coming up next week. And finally, Bustin Villa keeps up his end of the bargain as well. Well done to Paul Juan Pablo Angel, lovely to see. And then a brace from Diaby, countering Zuballoon's consolation for West Brom. Gabby getting on the pitch as well. Always a pleasure to see his gormless face. So we'll go up to the League One table first. Just to confirm what we already know. It's a bit of a shit show for the two of them. Foyverton and Thomarse, 1 point in it. Jamie just needs to beat Blackpool at home on Saturday, and he's joining Matty in the Championship next year. Anything other than that? Thomas away at, see if I can remember now, Coventry B, who are also relegated, so again, a very winnable game. All he can do is win and keep fingers crossed. Into League 2, and where are we? Right, automatic first. Louis, level on points, tight goal difference, still got a game in hand, but Cheshampton certainly not out of it. And actually, if Louis loses his next game, not entirely sure who it's against, let me look into that. It's up against Dan Gregory, which is losable. For argument's sake, if he did lose on Thursday, his goal difference would come down, and there'd be a 3-horse race between him, Chesh, and Matt Warrington on the very final day of the season. Final days of the season, I should say. But note that all three of them are playing on Saturday, so it would be a nice, tense finale. Looking down to the playoff situation, I've still got my game in hand on Thursday at home to Leeds UniTodd. Not easy at all, but if Alex could do me a favour and fuck off, then I would be sat on 82 points and actually enter that weird... Bloody hell, I'd be entering that automatic race. Let's not go there yet. Other than that, Bustin Villa very much hoping that Danielsea and myself falter over the next few days. Everyone below that are just spectators at this point, unfortunately for them. I think mathematically Leeds UniTodd could also still go up with their 3 games left. He'd have to beat me, Louis, and Paul Bustin away next Monday to pull off the unthinkable. And breathe. I think that's where we are. I'm sure that hasn't made any sense to anybody because it doesn't really even make sense to me. Too many moving parts, too much disparity in the games played, and too many games still left to play over the course of this week. Next up is the NLP playoffs, a lot more simple to know. Luton, Gore, Liverpool just need to win and they will face the Craigs in the semi-finals. Catch you then.